All right, today we're diving into something we all face, but honestly, few of us really get a handle on: chaos. We're going to explore how we can totally transform our relationship with all that unpredictability in life, and maybe, just maybe, move from feeling scared to feeling empowered.
You know how it is, we all do it, right? We map everything out, our careers, our projects, our entire lives. We drop these super detailed blueprints, planning out every single step, thinking we've got the perfect path from A to B. And yeah, it feels good. It gives you this sense of control, of security.
But here's a question to chew on. In that whole quest for control, do our plans end up, well, controlling us? Do they become a cage, making us rigid and inflexible when life inevitably throws us a curveball? Because it always does. So what happens when the map you're holding just doesn't match the world you're in anymore?
And that brings us to an experience every single one of us has had. That moment when our perfect, beautiful plan just completely falls apart. It's frustrating, sure. It can feel like a total failure, but it's also a fundamental part of being alive. I love this metaphor from the source material. It just perfectly captures that feeling, doesn't it? You have this logical, structured, perfect plan, and then it hits the real world with all its messy, unpredictable energy, and it just dissolves into smoke. The thing is, that's not a knock on your planning, it's just the nature of reality itself.
So what if we've been looking at this whole thing wrong? Instead of seeing chaos as the bad guy in our story, the villain we have to defeat, what if we started seeing it as the best teacher we could ever ask for? Let's dig into that idea. Okay, check this out. This slide really gets to the heart of it. The old view, the one we're all used to, sees chaos as the enemy. It's about destruction, failure, something to be fought. But there's a new view, one inspired by ideas from Stoicism and Zen, that sees something totally different. It sees a curriculum, a gift, a massive opportunity. This right here is the core concept: chaos as curriculum. It means that every single unexpected problem, every disruption, it's not a detour from your journey, it is the journey. This is life's masterclass, and it's teaching you things like resilience and creativity and adaptability in a way that a perfect, smooth plan never, ever could.
And let's just push that a little bit further. What if every obstacle you're facing is actually a gift? Like, it's wrapped in really ugly paper maybe, but it's a gift nonetheless. A challenge that's been perfectly tailored to teach you the exact lesson you need to learn right now. It sounds like a paradox, I know, but inside that frustrating mess might just be the key to your next big breakthrough.
Okay, this is all great as a philosophy, but how do we actually use this when the storm is hitting, right? When things are actually going wrong, we need a practical framework. We need some tools in our toolbox.
So the first set of tools is all about your inner game, the 7 Ps of mindset. This is about building a rock-solid foundation inside yourself so you can actually face the chaos. It all starts with being proactive and positive, choosing to act instead of just reacting. From there, you work on being peaceful and patient, which is really the secret to staying panic-free when everything feels turbulent. And when you're calm, you can actually perceive what's really going on. And finally, you can even find something to be praising or grateful for, even in the middle of the challenge. Now, with that solid mindset, you can start taking action with the MFP framework. First up is mental mark. Think of it like finding the real target in a storm of noise. You identify the one core issue that really needs your attention. Next is focalization. This is where you channel all your energy onto that one point, ignoring all the other distractions swirling around you. And finally, problematization. This is where you actually get your hands dirty and start untangling the knot, breaking the problem down into smaller, manageable pieces and just methodically working your way to a solution. So now we have the mindset and we have the tools. Let's zoom out. Because what if I told you that what looks like pure random chaos actually has a deep, hidden order to it? And this isn't just some philosophical idea, it's actual science. It's called chaos theory. And it's basically the study of finding these hidden patterns and rules inside of systems that look completely random to the naked eye. Think about the weather or the stock market. They seem totally unpredictable, but there are deep structures underneath. The takeaway for us is huge. What seems like total randomness in our lives often has a hidden logic, if we're willing to look for it.
Think about any great invention or creative moment in history. It almost never, ever happens in a nice, neat, straight line. It starts here, with this long, winding, super frustrating path of just trial and error.
It's that period of necessary chaos, of trying things, of not having a clue what the answer is.
But you keep at it. You stay in that uncomfortable, uncertain place, you keep working the problem, and then something incredible happens. After all that grinding and struggling, the solution doesn't show up as one more tiny little step. It shows up as a huge, sudden leap of insight. It's like all your effort just crystallizes in an instant. And that is the classic eureka moment. You know, Archimedes in the bathtub struggling with this impossible problem, and then suddenly, there's the answer. That flash of insight didn't come despite the struggle and the confusion. It came because of it. The chaos was the secret ingredient for the breakthrough all along. So let's bring this all home. We've reframed chaos from an enemy to a teacher. We've armed ourselves with a mindset and a framework. We've even seen that there's a hidden order in all the mess. So what does this all mean for you and me?
We have this tendency to think of life's storms, the setbacks, the challenges, all the chaos. We think of them as roadblocks designed to stop us dead in our tracks. We see the crazy winds and think, well, I guess I've just got to hide and wait for this to pass. But that's the old view.
Think about an eagle for a second. An eagle doesn't fight against the storm. It uses the powerful updrafts, the very currents of chaos within the storm, to soar higher than it ever could on a calm day. So here's the final question I want to leave you with. What if all the chaos in your life isn't there to break you? What if it's there to give you the exact energy you need to rise? What if the storm is actually an invitation to fly?